Boy, oh boy. Good morning, ladies and gents. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to High Top Sports. So, finicky right now. Yesterday was a iconic show. It was it was one of the most crazy ones we've had probably ever, with just the back and forth with the news that was dropping. It was fun. It was chaotic. It was a good time. And what's great about today is we're going to allow for you guys to react, talk about it, maybe provide some other theories that you have. Of course, this is the call-in show, and we assume one day closer to Sunday. We are to Sunday, but to things happening is what's left to be um, unknown at this point. So a lot of things broke down after our show with the Gator Dave tweet, and people were kind of really coming after him as if he was wrong. And I want to put it out there as like I really appreciate him putting the info out there, because I mean, he makes a good point. He's like, look, you want all the sides of the information, because let's say on Sunday something happens that we didn't expect to happen, and he had this information and sat on it, then we would have been frustrated. So I think putting it out there, letting you decide. There was no claims made in his tweet, but you know, we'll see. Yeah, Dan Thompson was on this show and he said he was out Sunday, even after the the situation. $2. That last night was the greatest episode ever. It was it was incredible. It was really fun. It was really fun. Look, this is all chaos, and we keep up with it. Yeah, I can recap the Gator tweet real quick. Gator Dave's tweet. So obviously we started the show discussing what, just the fact of all the noise surrounding Napier, and that he was gone. Right, like it was so worldwide. I thought yesterday, like news channels are talking about it, New York Times is writing about it, Yahoo's writing about it, like anybody and their mother are writing about it. And the details that came out from that were that multiple boosters met with Strickland and essentially strong armed him into saying like, "Hey, we got to make a move." Okay, that was the consensus from everybody. So that's what we were talking about, me and Dave. And then we were kind of joking of like, it feels like one of those recruiting situations, and the Kermani thing where everyone's like, it's going to happen, and then come day to sign and he's not there, or and he doesn't actually get fired, and we were joking, and then this tweet drops and all hell breaks loose. So his tweet says, Dave Waters, mind you, I spoke to almost 300,000 views, spoke to a high-level source regarding the booster meeting Scott Strickland had on Tuesday. Strickland met only with one booster, and it was an overall positive meeting where no demands were made and no ultimatums were given. The message was more, how can I be supportive and let me know what you need? So chaos breaks loose, because what we had been hearing all day was not the case at all. We called Dave. Dave was like, look, I'm just letting you know what I heard. You can take this as like a gospel or not gospel. Dave Soder then, said like, hey, this message came from a reporter that spoke to Strickland. So take that as you will. Then Dan Thompson came on our show. He even tweeted, he goes, look, he goes, I only heard one booster met yesterday too. Dave is right on that. That only one booster met. Now, again, the details are finicky, because could the booster gathered around and got thoughts and they went to that? I mean, this booster that met with him is heavy hitter. And so he still came on after that and still was very adamant that Sunday is still the day. That's where we're at. That's where it ended as of last night. We had a good time. Let's get hey, look, link is in the description. Call in, all right, and give us a call. Teed up.
Good morning.
Morning, Bubba.
I've been waiting for this. First of all, got the juice, but so I want to go back and reference what I was going to say the other week. I kind of stumped you on it. When I said that, first of all, I think the coach has been hiding DJ's status report as far as he's fine is because he hasn't been calling the plays that he has been last year. It's funny to me how simply that DJ can hit all the long shots last year, even with the bad leg, But then has Billy been hiding his true health? Because the other day he comes back and says, "Oh, he's been limited," even though he's had a rough off season. I get that, but could it also be that he hasn't really been telling us the full effect of his status and why he's dinking and dunking and all that instead of doing the long shots like he was last year?
I mean, yeah, given how the presser went of how he's limited on play calling because of it, for sure. I definitely. I mean, we kind of knew that. I don't think that was a surprise. But yeah, I definitely think it's impacting his overall game for sure.
Another thing, talking about this whole Billy Napier thing, I've been praying about it and reading about it. In the Bible, in the Bible it talks about um, back then the children of Israel, they wanted a king to be like everybody else. And I've been watching these other podcasts, and they brought up some interesting points. It's like, why are all of our rivals going to playoff games, and yet we're still searching for coaches to take us there? And I'm thinking, in the children of Israel back then, they used to have judges, and they wanted a king to be like everybody else. So my thing is, how bad? So how come the people of Florida, the fans of, if Florida could get what they want, like the fans, like give the people what they want. If they give, like, say for instance, Scott Strickland does give us Lane Kiffin, they give the people what we want. If it don't work out, that would be on us and not them. I would think it would look, a lot worse on the fans and everybody, because they gave us what we want instead of,
Yeah, I mean,
you
that's
know
not how I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't really work like that. It's not like they can go and give us what we want, and then if it doesn't work out, they're like, "Well, you guys wanted this, so not our problem."
involved. I'm just saying, I would think it'd be, instead of getting somebody that we don't know, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of them that Billy's gone Sunday. I just heard Dan and Allie talk about it. Whatever. Um, from Stadium and Gale there, that regardless, Billy's gone Sunday. I have no idea,
Yeah, that's what we're
but
hearing.
I don't know. It's pretty epic, crazy.
It
All
is.
I just know is, I know we talk about Kermani McLean. You wanted that, what is it, Miles Graham, I think, or whatever, to stay.
Yeah,
Um, the two I really want to stay, actually, the three I really want to stay: Mizell, VB3, and Dallas Wilson. Them would probably be. I think VB3 would probably stay. Um, Dolly Wally, I have no idea. I hope he stays. And I hope Mizell stays, because that connection that we had meeting his dad and all that.
for sure.
So,
Yeah,
so I mean, I hope that happens. I just hope the next coach that comes in has that, the fire. I want to coach with fire. I
agreed.
want to coach. I tell people all the time, I'm working in Tallahassee right now, but I'm like, Billy is saying, here's the way I look at it. Billy is saying, no, 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 we don't do that. Instead of getting that belt, tearing up the rear end when they do something wrong, you know,
For sure.
discipline. But anyway, but I was just thinking about all that, and I, I just want to coach with fire. I just want somebody that knows how to win, that also, just, that don't put up with crap. If you're gonna spit on somebody, you're off the team. I think that's the way Nick Saban would have done it.
For sure.
We have discipline on this team because we're dealing with the same issues every year. I mean, if Billy could only win 4 games outside of the swamp, that's not a really good
Yeah. Well, look,
situation.
come Sunday, we should be rock and roll on that. But T-Dub, feel better. Take some more medicine, big dog. We got some more callers calling in, man, and
Yeah,
I appreciate you, big man.
just wanted to call and and just to let you be the first thing you see this morning on the
Thank you, Tito.
show. And
Makes my day.
we'll see
Later,
you
brother.
later, bro. But get with you later.
Go Gators, man.
And thing real quick. I know you got that little jingle thing, but Steve has actually put my jingle together, and he has it, and I did shoot it over to Dave.
Okay.
So whenever they get it to you, you can listen to it, see what you think.
Cool. I appreciate T-Dub, man. Thank you, bro.
All right, buddy. We'll talk with you later.
Later, bro.
Pick some up for you.
Matt, what's up, man?
What's happening, Cap?
How we doing, bro?
Sorry, I'm a roofing company here in Nashville. We're out here getting this thing wrapped up for me.
How we feeling?
Caught me off guard. I'm fucking pissed.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Matt. I can't hear you.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
All right. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, it's just crazy that there's even talks that we're gonna keep the guy now.
Well, I don't know if there's
all
talks.
around.
It was more of like a feeling. There hasn't been, outside of that tweet, there hasn't been like
That's a pretty hefty tweet from a pretty sturdy Gator.
Yeah.
That guy pulls strong reports. Let's call it what it is. But no, I'm pissed, man. I mean, we were supposed to be this high and almighty team, and we've been absolute cheeks all year long. It seems like the fire's not there anymore. It seems like the players are just kind of like, get this jackass out of the way. Let's bring us Lane, baby. Lane train.
Yeah, Lane would be something special. The other part of this too, which we haven't really got into too much, but it's gonna be this weird feeling because I don't know how to best it out. Who knows?
Monday. I mean, everybody knows Billy knew.
No, I know.
Even
but like,
Saturday.
let's say on Sunday it happens. We then have 2 months of kind of waiting to see and talking and watching this thing unfold and hoping it goes our way. You know, it's a weird situation for sure. Because I think when Mullen got fired, it was like in November, so it was like just like a couple of weeks before.
Yeah,
not even.
Yeah, look, Mullen could have just looked in, got Anthem recruit a little bit. He could be in the play every time.
Yeah, if he doesn't quit on the team, who knows?
Yeah, 100%. You know, who knows? But yeah, bring me Lane Train. Love the show you've been doing, man. Been following for years, and yeah, keep on pumping it.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Bubba. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Appreciate you, dog.
Go Gators, man.
Go Gators.
Ladies and gents, this is the call-in show, so make it work. We got 300 strong in here. I dropped a link in the chat. Get up them in here. Mr. Why don't you call in instead of talking some smack? Trent, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. Gary, Florida Gator booster. Fuck that guy. Donates millions. Fuck that guy, man. Fucking ridiculous what we have to go through every fucking day. Ridiculous.
You broke up a little bit, Trent, at the beginning. I didn't hear what you said, buddy.
Fuck!
Bro, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing? Aaron, what's up, man?
Damn, what the hell just happened? Scared the shit out of me. Oh, what up, G? God damn. Shit.
What are we doing?
I don't, hell, he messed me up. Damn. Anyway, back, I had this guy a job, so I come holler at me, so I had to hang up and call y'all back. But anyway, if somebody says something about it, I apologize. The whole thing with the booster stuff, I feel like a lot of people taking it way out of proportion. Because who's to say if the guy said, hey, let us know if there's anything you need? Who's to say if he's saying if there's anything you need, it might be the buyout money?
100%. And I think that's what Gator Dave was alluding to is like every other tweet had been more, I would say, progressive in the direction we all thought it was going. This felt it's just how we read things, right? We perceived it as if, but if you actually read it, it doesn't say that look, it could still be a positive conversation of like it was a
Exactly.
positive sense of like, hey, we're moving on. We've got a great plan in place. He's going to give me what I need to make the next hire as best as possible.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like a text message. Everybody takes a text message. You can take a text message the wrong way every time you see a text. You can read it the wrong way.
100%. And I think that's why we called Dave and I go, he cleared it up. I think we definitely got a little spicy at first. Again, it's just because the way that it came out was like, hey,
yeah,
we all heard it was multiple. It was only one, and it wasn't a strong arm thing. It was more of this. So then we're like, and obviously we're all just a little nervous of how things have kind of unfolded.
Oh, well, hell, I mean, I am too. But I'm kind of like you. I think everybody, we all got this anticipation. Like I'm going to a truck show tomorrow in my semi, and I literally just found out now that I'm going, and I still got to do a lot of stuff to my truck before in the morning. It's just like that. Everybody's anticipating it, just waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's going to be a last minute thing. I mean, I honestly think after Sunday, win or lose, he's gone, and I think it's coming. I think this was the plan the whole time, was the bye week before Georgia. That's my opinion.
What happened? Love the show, man, but the caller's got to have some kind of filter. Look, I wish. I mean, I don't know who's calling in. Like, I can't anticipate somebody yelling the F word. I try to be ahead of it, but like, there's not. I mean, it could happen on the radio too. Like, there's nothing I can do. Rook, what's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on? I think people are taking Dave's tweet way, way, way too seriously. I think what's going on here is
Well, I think it should be
somebody
taken seriously. Maybe out of context.
not like
better.
they shouldn't be freaking out. Like that's like they shouldn't be like acting like me, I guess is a good way. No, I think that regardless of whatever happens Saturday, he's gone Sunday. What I think it is I think somebody is trying to put out a fire using gasoline, and it's not and they're realizing it's not working because they don't want to look bad. But no, I think everything's gonna work out just the way it needs to. I think everyone just needs to calm down. Let's just enjoy Saturday, and we'll get through it.
Yeah,
It can't
think
get any worse.
In the same point, right? Like Strickland has to do his job because I said it too. I was like, it looks bad. All this noise that
he's in a corner that he can't get himself out of now. Because if he doesn't fire Billy, then everyone's gonna be mad anyways. And it's gonna show up negatively on him. It's gonna make him look bad because I don't think that there's gonna be fire Billy chance on Saturday coming out. I think it's gonna be fire Strickland chance.
Yeah, I think there's a weird sense of if with this noise that it might make it less crazy. I think, and I saw some places where it was like, hey, this is trying to alleviate. They just want seats or butts in the seats. That's what they care about.
Yeah.
And so they may be assuming that this will keep people away. I think that's. I don't think this fan base is that.
I think it's regardless. They're going to be there. They're going to be there regardless. We've been selling out. We've been playing mediocre football for the last 15 years, and we've been selling out stadiums, no problem. We've never had an issue with selling out. The fans show up because we're loyal. Sometimes I think that's a detriment, but to us.
Morgan, you need to call in. Let's see. I need your thoughts on this. Dumbest thing we can do right now is fire Billy. Look, this is the call. Links in the description. Get your butt in here. Let's chit chat about it. That's what this show's all about. I want everyone's thoughts and opinions about it. I mean, let's not cuss when you come on. That'd be a great start, but it's not all. It's not.
No, I just think our AD is in an unfavorable position, and it's making the boost. That whole leak that came out yesterday has made it look like he has no control over the situation, and he's trying to make it look like he's getting that back. Because you can't. I mean, you have to think if he wants a career outside of Florida, he has to look like he's the one who's made all these decisions himself.
Yeah, and again, I think that. And I agree that you lost. If this, I said, if you're firing a coach, we should never hear about it. It should
never get out.
Yeah, no, you don't need a camera to call in, guys. So, and again, that was a big situation that everybody was already had known about it and was talking about it. And I was like, I said it on the show on Tuesday. I mean, it's kind of weird that we're already, everyone already knows that it's happening. It's a sticky situation. And again, I think that if you are Strickland, you're like, dude, like if I'm Napier, I'm looking at Strickland. It's like, dude, thanks a lot. Like making me look like incompetent for the
Napier's
last
going to
5
get
days.
crucified.
Like, yeah, I'm sure there's probably a little bit of back and forth. And again, I think that because it sounds like it's inevitable. And so and everyone's like, it doesn't matter when it happens. No, it doesn't really matter when it happens. I think that's how the fan base is kind of, we're just impatient. We just want things to happen. So we just want a sense of moving forward. That's kind of what it boils down to. I also think that during the bye week is a good time. It's just like, look, like no need to keep marching him out there to be booed. But a great question asked yesterday from Dan was like, where do you go next? Who's
I imagine it's even worse for Billy because he has to go out there and he has to face the boos whenever it's like it's not working anyways. Cut him loose.
Yeah, you got to face the boos without any chance of redemption now. They're just getting beat up just to get beat up.
And man, I don't like Napier as a coach, but I think I'm willing to give him some grace to be like, all right, you get your last game. Go do whatever you want to go do somewhere else, but you can't do it here. It's not working. It doesn't have to be a toxic breakup.
Sure.
Agreed.
And that's why
it's not. We just want to win. That's literally all that we want as Gator fans. We just want to see our team win, and it's not working with Napier. It hasn't worked in the last 4 years. But no, that's pretty much my thoughts. I think people are losing their minds, and they gotta chill out. There are good things gonna come out on the other side of Sunday. So just let them fall as they lie, man.
Appreciate it, Rook. Be good, Bubba.
God bless, man. Y'all have a great day.
You too, man. That's a nice, healthy phone call, boys. That's how it's done. 400 strong, boys. Smash it, like it. Again, link is in the description. Get your butts in here. Let's talk about it. Tony Lowe.
What's going on, man?
You see it, man. How we doing? How we feeling?
So here's my only worry about Lane Kiffin is his defenses are not good. It reminds me of Mullen 2.0, where we had great offense and no defense. And that's my only concern.
That's not a horrible concern. Let me take a look and see. Because I agree with you to an extent, man. Florida's ranks 33 right now. Incredible stuff. They ranked 49. Ole Miss does this year. So I would have agreed with you maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, but I would say that he's made massive adjustments. Last year was the big step forward for him, in my opinion. I mean, the guys they go out there and get with the Princeleys and then the other cat from Texas A&M on the other side. I can't think of his name at the moment. The other big edge that went to the NFL. They've made the appropriate adjustments, in my opinion, with less talent. And this is why when I talk about like, hey, like when we say like Florida's a high landing job, like Ole Miss, I don't think they've even finished with a top 15 class in 5 years. I mean, you see the talent of D linemen we get, right? But their best D linemen were transfer guys, and both came from places where they were. I mean, Texas A&M when they got the Texas A&M guy, that was after the Jimbo Fisher era, who obviously that was like that high recruiting class, and then of course the Princess situation, which is not working out. But 2 years ago, I would agree with you, but I think that's where he's really coming to a head of he's adjusted, and you're not 6-0 if you don't make improvements on defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Also, big fan of the show, man. Love what you guys do.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you you calling in as well. What did you get a chance to watch last night in the chaos? Your thoughts on that if you saw it?
I haven't watched last night's yet, but I'm gonna get to it today at work.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. It was a lot of back and forth, a lot of call-in shows. We were just obviously talking about the situation with Napier on possibly his last day being on Sunday. So you're by the sense of you talking about Lane, you're ready to move on as well.
Oh yeah, I've been ready for 3 years.
Okay.
And I'm a big time fan, man. I wanted to give Billy Napier all the support that he could take, but it was like in year 2 he keeps talking about evaluation and looking at what they can do, but then he never looks at himself and what he can do better. It's like he won't give up play calling. He's obsessed with thinking that his system is going to work, and it's not. Like just the play calling in general. give it to Russ Callaway, it would probably be better. Like, I just think that he scripts everything he does, and he doesn't adjust.
Yeah, and again, that's where my frustration has been. Even with my support and excitement, it was always kind of like, can he find the ability to adjust? And I think you nailed it on the head. It's like, look, everything else has been changed, everything else has been adjusted and moved around, but that was never, he's never adjusted on that. So yeah, this was something we didn't get to talk about last night. Thank you, Callie Barbie. You need to call in, Callie. That I had it queued up for the show, but the show was so chaotic that we never got around to it. That there was reports that he tried to hire Charlie Weiss Jr., who is the OC at Ole Miss, and it obviously didn't work out. And you wonder why. I have questions of like, what was it? Was it Lane down, up in the ante? Was it? And we see it with how Ole Miss's offense rolls. It does just fine. So in my personal beliefs, I think that he was going to have to come in and stay under Billy's thumb and not let him cut loose. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to put my name on your calling. Essentially, you just want to make me be a placeholder. I got to go do my job.
Yeah, and you can't have that whenever you're hiring an OC.
Absolutely,
you got to let them do their job.
No question. Well, Tony, I appreciate it, man. Be good. Thanks for calling in, and appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Take it easy.
Yeah, man. Mr. Nobody, if it's so weak, why don't you just call in? All this chirping. Rich, what's up, man? How we doing, man?
I can't hear you.
I hear you.
All right. Well, I can't hear you, but I just wanted to say, we fire Billy now. What do we accomplish? Truly, right? Do we save money? No, we actually spend more money. Does the team change? No, we are who we are. I say behind closed doors, Strickland just tells Napier simply, hey, man, you're not coming back. No harm, no foul. Let's get through the season, hold the locker room together from what it is right now. Do the same thing as Zook after the FSU game. We're probably not going to make a bowl game. And then just part ways and in the background, either go after, if it's Franklin, if it's Kiffin, if it's Golesh, if whoever it is, just have them primed and ready to take the helm the day after the FSU game. So love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't disagree with when it happens. Doesn't really matter. Great call, Rich, by the way. It doesn't really matter when it happens. We actually talked about that with Dan. It's more of just a sense of us fans. Like, we just want change. We just want to, selfishly, we just want it to feel different on Saturdays. And I can see that. I can 100% relate to that of like, we're just, at this point, we're willing to try something new. We just want to see for the last 6 games, anybody else march out there and call the plays. But there is no true advantage from a financial standpoint, from a hiring standpoint. There is an advantage. Again, the noise of, hey, Sunday came around from somebody else. It wasn't like that's what I was calling for. I called for it at the USF simply because I was like, I just want to see, like, what happens is if Callaway steps in and it's ran by a new regime and all of a sudden it just takes off and there's some success and maybe you can package this thing up a little bit better for the next coach. That is a possibility there. But when it happens, it doesn't really matter, like you said, as long as it does happen. I don't disagree with that. Ryan, what's up, man?
Man, my first thought about all this was when Penn State fired their coach and we're sitting here with Billy Napier with a horrible record. It's like, Florida's not serious. And I just don't understand what it's going to take for Scott Strickland or whoever's in charge over there to see that we are not a serious football team. Remember, I called in about going to game day with a lame duck coach. How'd that look? We looked stupid.
In Miami?
Yeah, at Miami. I called in the day before and said, you got to fire him then because we're going to Miami. They're going to have all these talking points. They're going to call DJ Gagway.
Oh, yeah.
They have our record showing. The other day when they showed Billy on the boat going back and forth with his record, he don't have an engine on his boat. You know what I'm saying? They got him driving this way and then driving that way with his record showing. I'm like, Billy ain't even got a motor on his boat, bro. He's that garbage. Like, Does he
You
even
got
watch
or.
football clips of us when we was good and be like, man, we was, Florida was legit. Let's just turn it down a notch. That's what Billy is. He's like, let's slow it down. Let's not score a lot. Let's just try and play pickleball. And that's what he needs to go do. He needs to take his $26 million, go play pickleball, and coach a pickleball team because that's about as good as he is at football.
Yeah, look, we talked about it. I don't remember at this point now, but I mean, he'll land on his feet somewhere. Like
I don't know.
Look, Virginia Tech or whoever just fired their coach, take him in a heartbeat. West Virginia, they take him in a heartbeat.
Well, I live up here in Tennessee, right, where Billy come from, this little pull dunk town up here in Tennessee. They run the same offense that his dad ran back when he was coach. So I feel like Billy is trying to make his dad's offense seem legit, and he can't get over it. He wants his dad's offense to work so bad that he has nailed that coffin shut, son. It's gone. Football's changed. And he's like, nah, my dad's plays work. Nah, they don't, cuz. They don't. They ain't working no more. I mean, I hate to say it, but if there's any other way this can get back to Billy, it should make him resign because he ain't going to get quit and he ain't going to get fired. Hopefully he sees this and he's like, dang, that dude was crucial. My dad's plays are dead, just like he is. I'm sorry for it, Billy, but I'm tired of Mr. Nice Guy crap. It's got to go. Them plays got to go.
And he's like, man, Brian was right. I got to quit calling dad's plays.
Yeah.
this was a turning point for Billy. This was it.
Turning point for Billy. Hopefully he sees it. Throw the playbook away because I guess Scott Strickland ain't got the cojones to get rid of him. I don't know what he's got on him, but y'all, that's always the joke behind everything. Somebody's got something on somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I just wish something different would happen because, like you said, what if we just go out there with a different playbook and 5 wide, and next thing you know, we look like we're world beaters, and maybe the playoff committee be like, dang, they won out with a different coach. Let's throw them in there, see what happens.
For sure. So Sunday, you're still set. Sunday's the last day.
Should be.
Okay.
He shouldn't have made it today. He should have been already gone.
I hear you.
Crazy.
Well, Brian, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in and good stuff, man. Go Gators, boys.
Go Gators.
All right, this next caller, it says Steve Spurrier's burner. So I mean, if it could be touch and go here. All right, just letting y'all know. Real quick, Burnout says it's not selfish, brother, for the fans. Fans still feel those things. Look, I don't mean it negatively. Like I mean, I'm in the same boat as you are. When I say selfishly, it's like we just want it for ourselves. Like if we were to really break it down and look at it logically, like doesn't necessarily make sense. No, but we like selfishly as fans, we want things to be different. We deserve that. I can't even say selfishly. I mean, because we deserve good things too, right? We deserve to be happy too. What's up, man?
Man, I don't even know where to start, honestly, after listening to this last guy. I mean, first and foremost, if you think that Sunday is going to be the last day that Billy Napier is the head coach of the Florida Gators, you have not been paying attention.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not going to happen, regardless of the outcome. I mean, if he loses in terrible fashion, yes, he's probably fired, but I don't see that happening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's just not going to. I don't see anything happening before the Georgia game. Seriously.
Well, that's 2 weeks. So we have Mississippi State, then a bye, then Georgia. So
yeah, I don't think anything happens without a loss to Georgia.
Okay. My apologies. I thought you meant before that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything happening before a loss to Georgia. And really and truly, let's look at the staff that Billy has around him. Do we think any of these imbeciles that we all hate has any chance at running a SEC football team for a day, much less 6 more games?
So Dan Thompson brought that up yesterday, and it's like, dude, imagine you're the boosters and you're Strickland, right? And you're like, okay, hey guys, we're gonna get rid of Napier. Who we're gonna put in charge? And you look around, you're like, oh shit. You know, and it's like,
and that's the issue. I've brought it up many times. Billy Napier's fault here was the people that he put around him. If you look at his success everywhere else, his staff has been above par to the competition he's played. But you get here, and he brought the same staff. Obviously, that's not going to work. And then you bring in DJ Lagway, right? He's able to convince DJ Lagway to come in and play under this system. You let him sit out all spring and get just obese. He gets obese. He starts dating this fat girl, and then he puts on, it looked like 40 pounds before the season begins. And he has slimmed up some since then. And you've seen as he slimmed down, he started playing better. But, he's not going to work at this level. He's just not. And if you couldn't see that in the offseason when he put on so much freaking weight, I just don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, your thoughts on him not being gone on Sunday are very intriguing. So before yesterday's news, you still felt this way, or have you been back and forth on it?
Oh, absolutely felt this way the entire time. I mean, it's been written on the walls. I mean, if you can't tell what Strickland's going to do, it's not like he's a smart man. It's very obvious. And I think the news yesterday was all these terrible beat writers for the University of Florida that absolutely should not have jobs. I mean, they're absolutely awful. It was just a bunch of fake, made-up crap. Oh, Scott Strickland met with boosters. I'm sure Scott Strickland meets with boosters, if not every week, every month. I mean, what kind of breaking news is that? Oh, the Florida boosters want Billy Napier gone. No shit. How is that news? How do these people have jobs? And we got beat writers going and buying fucking tables and bottle services at the worst bars in Florida, and then want to get on Twitter telling us what's going on with the football team.
Well, Steve Spursburner, I appreciate it, man. Great call. Thank you so much for your insight, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators. Bro, wild calling show. Like I have in my life. I don't even. Like, what are we doing? What has happened? John, what's up, man?
Hey, big dog. Can you hear me?
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Awesome, bro. Hey, look. Hey, I'm the one that wrote in a little while ago, man. I was like, my son loves your show, but sometimes, bro, I just got to turn it back, because folks get on there ain't got no filter, man. But
you just always decide, yeah.
You're real influential, man, and we love watching your show, and we love watching it together. So it's kind of like a father-son thing. We always try to catch up with you. You and your brother, your sidekick. He was a Marine, right?
Yes, sir. Oh
yeah. So was I, or so am I. I'm retired now, but man, I totally. The last caller, he said when we take a loss to Georgia, how many losses do we have to take to Georgia? We've already taken losses to Georgia. Billy's already showed he can't finish. And even though we've had numerous games where it looks like we had a chance to win, he can't close the W. So he's got to go. And there's no better time for the guy to go than with the 2 week bye. Why would we keep him?
Yeah, look, I'm on the same boat as you. But again, there is that weird sense that Strickland or what have you, just kind of because of how it's been dragged out to this point. Look, I think again, I'm a component that Sunday is the best day. You get to go into the bye. I want an opportunity to see. I want to throw something new at Georgia. I was talking to my neighbor; he's a Georgia fan. I was like, look, if we don't have Napier, I'd be nervous if I'm Georgia, because Georgia hasn't looked very good, and now all of a sudden, Kirby's got to have he's got Napier's playbook, right? Like he knows what's going on.
That's right. That's right.
Who knows what happens? I think defensively, we'll be fine. And then if Ron does take over and he's like, "Hey, Russ, this is your offense. Go do what you got to do, kid." Damn thing.
And that's who I would want to take over. If Napier, I think he would be the obvious choice to take over. I'm sure he doesn't want the position full time, but just for the remainder of the season. I mean, obviously at this point, there's no pressure. It's not like we're fixing to win the freaking Natty or nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dude, here, just take it over for the rest of the season. And I mean, I just look at UCLA. They got rid of their coach. They balling out.
They got rid of a handful of people. Like we still have so many people on staff. It's like, who we go to? It's like, we got 95 people. Find a pulse.
Man, I do agree with the last call in reference to lag, putting on weight, and all that garbage. I don't know why we don't give Tramel Jones an opportunity, to jump out there and throw the ball. I guess he balled out in the spring game. I don't know why we can't just give the guy a chance. Lagway, man, hey, he just hasn't been consistent. He's dropping dimes, 3 throws, and the next 3 throws, they're well over the receiver's head, man. It's chaotic mess. It's time for a change. I think he's going after Sunday. I disagree with the last caller on that. I think he's out of here, man. And it couldn't be soon enough. And I like Napier, man. I was a big component last year of arguing with a bunch of my buddies down here in South Georgia about how Napier should stay and we should give him a shot. But after this, man, after the way we started this season, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah, he's had more than enough support for sure. I mean, especially
man. Hey, shake your hand, go to a Power 5 school. I'm sure you'll do great things, man. But you're not an SEC coach, my guy. You got to find somewhere else to go. Love you, deuces.
For sure. What's your son's name, John?
Gunner.
Not Gunner Stockton, right?
Not Gunner Stockton, but honestly, my son plays travel football, and we do 7-on-7 during the off season, but we're not going to do it this year. And I saw Gunner Stockton has actually got a camp going on in June, so we might go visit. The only reason why my son wants to go because his name's the same as he is.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and appreciate you and Gunner always tuning in and watching, man. We try to do a good job.
We love your show. You guys are funny as all get out. It's a blast, man. I've been watching you since you started, man. I kind of caught you on YouTube one day and then just kept coming back to you. But you're doing good things, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Go Gators, man. Be good.
All right, buddy. Go Gators.
Yes, sir. Look, I think Billy Gonzalez would be good to just run the team. He's been around a lot of football and been around a lot of championship teams. Jaluk would be a good fit too, because if Ron doesn't want the title, I just need someone to stand there with the headset and then just put someone as an OC and someone as a DC. We'll be good to go. I mean, they ain't got to do much. They don't have to recruit. They ain't got to build anything. I just need somebody. It's a placeholder, if you will. Luke, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello?
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yes.
I have 2 things. I think the biggest downfall in Napier, besides his play calling, is how every time we have a momentum swing, he just looks like our offense goes out there and his play calling looks like he just shit the bed every time. It's disappointing every time. And also, I'd love to hear who you think the must-keep players are, and if Lagway is one of them.
Yeah, great question. Must keep it is tough because obviously, selfishly, you want certain players and you like certain guys. Miles Graham, in my opinion, is somebody that you can plug and chug anywhere. I think the quarterback room, I love DJ, but the quarterback situation is I think a little more translucent because of who the new coach is going to want. So I'm not as dying on that hill. Like whoever the new guy wants is who I'm going to support. And I think you probably want DJ Lagway. But Miles Graham is probably my number 1 for sure. No question.
And do you think Dallas, what's your thoughts on Dallas? You think he'll leave, or is he just here because of Napier?
I really don't know, man. I mean, it's just, look, I really think these guys want to ball out and they want to play, and I think they can look around and see the talent around them. I think that if whoever the next guy comes in is going to be a huge factor to that. I really do. I don't think that it's just like if Napier's gone, I'm gone. There could be some guys like that, to be honest with you, but I think that's one thing that Napier's done a good job on is getting guys that want to be here, not just for Napier, but for Florida too, if that makes sense. So
no, I agree.
I think there's a lot of guys on the staff that are like that, and then there's a few that aren't. So it all just depends, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I think
great stuff though. Great questions.
I think you need to keep Ball, Dallas, Graham, and Vernell, and the coach. I think the coach will bring in his quarterback or keep Lagway.
Yeah, I agree. And look, I think if you keep Chapman, I think he's done a phenomenal job on that defensive line. Is another one. I mean, again, beggars can't be choosers.
I
But
think, yeah, I would rather have Luke over him for sure, though. I agree.
I don't know. I mean, he's done a great job too. You're not wrong, but the defensive line play has been exceptional, even with the injuries.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. Good call, man. Appreciate you. Not gonna lie, boys. When he started, I was like, we're gonna get scammed. I was like, he's gonna yell something at me. I'm like, $5. I'm 5-1 in fantasy. Wow. Can I apply for the UF job if I went out? Yeah, definitely the same thing, Dubster, for sure. $10. If I'm being honest, the story makes no sense. When would you ever tell someone they're fired ahead of time, no matter what? That just makes the university look and other coaches question taking the job. I think it's probably more common than we think, Zero. Because I believe Zook knew he was being fired, and the players knew he was being fired when he was let go. I'd imagine that Franklin had an idea that he was going after that Northwestern game. I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree, but I think it's a little more common than we think. Grayson, what's up, man?
Yo, it's good, Shelton. You can hear me?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Man, I appreciate y'all boys. Before I get into my little rant, man, misery love company, and this last couple of years been miserable. So I appreciate y'all. I watched the show this morning because I got up early. Like, I'm driving right now, so I watched the show, and I'm kind of 50-50 on if he get fired after this weekend on Saturday. But I know a couple callers back, the caller didn't think he needed to be fired. I'm kind of on the opposite with that, like, because I feel like we got the players to go win games. The rest of the games we got after Mississippi State, I feel like we going to get them out of there. I feel like it don't even matter who our assistant coach will be. I just feel like with the talent we got and we won't have nothing to lose. So whoever calling the plays, I feel like we'll really be on some running gun stuff. But also with firing him on after this weekend, it's like Billy a cool dude. Like, he a good coach. He's like a good Sunday through Friday coach. He just can't do it on Saturdays. And I get cringe vibe because I got secondhand embarrassment. So I don't think I can watch the game Saturday because I know how Florida fans is. I know they gonna boo him. And I know it's not personal. I know we just want to win. I'm with all that. Like, he definitely got to go. But I feel like the perfect time is homecoming because, like, man, I think he can win that game. Plus, like, man, I put myself in Billy's shoes. Like, I imagine, like, if I'm there with my girl, my wife, and my kids there, you don't want to have this man keep getting booed, dog. Like, let him go, bro. Like, it's embarrassing. So I'm kind of like, nah, for real. And I hate it for him because he's a good guy. He just can't do it on Saturdays. And that's the main part. Like, I'd rather an evil dude that at least we going like 11-1, 10-2 than what Billy got going on. Because it's like the team take the mindset. So it's kind of like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm hoping for it, but, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, look, I think you pick up a good point, too, I feel like this thing can kind of bust open. I think these guys will want to still play out and ball out. I do think if things start to get a little wobbly, there won't be as much team morale in the locker room to stick together, which is what it is. That's kind of the cost of it. But there is a sense that it's like, okay, hey, let's go win this thing. Let's go do what we can, even without Napier. And maybe, a new touch. Again, like, here's my thought process. Like, Napier's done a good job building staff, building the team, culture.
Yeah, definitely.
If he leaves, the thing should just crumble because then you really didn't build a good culture. It was all a facade. So it should still be able to hold on and go out and win one and do some special things and have some fun. Like, again, what I would look forward to is like, hey, we can go ruin some cat seasons. That's what I would look forward to. That's all we would have.
Definitely. I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, because I feel like we can win, even though Mississippi State, like the whole SEC in general is like solid this year. So it's not just going to be a give me game, but I feel like we let him go that game. He win it. He go out on like, a good note. And then like the players we have, I really feel like we got the talent. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we won out. Like, I don't think just talent for talent. Now, coaches, like when it come down to like Kirby Smart and Billy Napier, we're losing that all day. But just talent wise, I feel like we have the talent to beat the rest of the schedule for sure.
We can go toe to toe for sure. Well, Grayson, I appreciate it, man. Good call, man. Thank you so much.
No, definitely. Go Gators, man.
Go Gators, man. Hollywood, what's up, man?
Good morning, man. Good morning.
Morning, Bo.
I mean, I understand we got to fire Billy. I think we should fire him after Mississippi State. They may not fire him, but I kind of think it's a couple things that kept Billy this job for this amount of time. You know, like good at recruiting, being a good guy, like the dude was saying Sunday through Friday. He a good guy, and everybody said that about him. And we got a stacked team, but the results not happening. Like, so I don't really feel bad if they fire Billy. You know, how many of us gonna get fired from a job, get 4 years to do it, and then get 10 million up front? Yeah, and then get 20 million over the next 4 or 5 years. Like that's so. I mean, like realistically, like. You know what the expectations was. You knew what you was up against. You had recruited a team to meet those expectations, but you were the guy that was leading the helm that didn't meet those expectations. So if they fire him after Mississippi State, I still like our chances to beat Georgia because we got a stout defense. Nobody other than Texas A&M in Texas A&M was able to put 30 points on us on defense. You know, so if it come down to a battle where we gotta score 30 or more points a game, if we just let the reins go to Russ Callaway and just, hey man, drop your thing, you good. We got a chance just as much as we had a chance with Billy. I don't think we lose games because we don't have Billy. I think we losing games because we have Billy.
Yeah, look, I think, and that's kind of where I'm at with it too. I think the team is talented enough, and Georgia hasn't looked very promising that there's an opportunity to go out there and do something. Look, to I don't want to say his credit, but the USF loss is really putting just an entire a damper on everything because the other 3 losses, LSU, Miami, and A&M all on the road are very tough. 3 tough. I would say 2 or 3 are tough places to play. Miami showed out, but tough place to play with extremely talented football teams. Now, we should have been much closer and it should have been much better. I'm not excusing any of that. That's not me making an excuse because we should have the ability to compete. The A&M game again, that was the one game that I did not feel comfortable about, and rightfully so. I do feel that, and even Miami, like they're a talented group. Like they've definitely have made more strides in the last 4 years than we have. We should have beat LSU, but it's besides the point. But those aren't really like 3 egregious losses. They really, really aren't. It's just the fact of how they've all looked and the fact that you lost to USF. It's like, dude, and then this fun fact, we haven't scored in the fourth quarter, including field goals in the last 4 games. Like it's just once it's figured out, what it's telling you is that once they've got a pulse, once the scripted plays are through, Napier and the boys they got nothing for them.
I mean, Texas and Texas A&M was back to back, start fast, get 2 possessions down there, no matter if it's a field goal and a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, and then after that, we kind of just put it all on the defense. You know, I think in Billy's mind, we supposed to be winning 10-point games, 13-3 or something like that. But you're going against these high-power offenses. And then you got Tramel Jones. I'm not saying give the guy significant playing time, but when Sark had Manning on the bench behind Ewers, obvious rundowns, he wanted to run the ball. My quarterback's not as mobile as my second string quarterback. Let's just throw him in, put a wrinkle in. If it goes good, it doesn't. Either way, we're going to take that shot, give the defense something they got to adjust to. And you got too many factors weighing in on it saying, oh, I'm just going to keep DJ and he gives us the best shot. Like I think LSU was an eye-opener for Billy and the offense he was trying to run. You got a quarterback that's extremely talented. If he's not mobile, you can't just let him throw the game away because he's not mobile. You got to figure some type of offensive wrinkle out. You got too much talent. We don't even get to see Tank and TJ Abrams, all these type of guys that we're going to think about when we see their names pop up in the transfer portal once he ultimately does get fired. But you're going to look at some of the key players that play the most, you want to retain them. So, like, I'm at this point where, like, the relationship ain't work out good. You kept trying to make it work, and then you finally get over it, and you don't care if you lose a guy. I think last year when the turnaround happened, everybody was calling for him to get fired, but at that point, people seen the turnaround. It was like, you know what? Maybe he is the right guy. It's year 3. Maybe he did need to get his quarterback because we had Anthony Richardson, we had Graham Mertz. Those weren't his real recruited guys. We got DJ, and he put a pulse on his team. But then seeing him just come in at the start of the year and like completely flatline with this kid at quarterback, Don't get me wrong. He's a good recruiter. You recruited 5 stars, LJ McCray. But for some reason, God said, hey, I'm going to hurt these guys, put them in a situation to show you that Billy really not the coach. And that's just what's happening. Like, you got to have talent. You got to be good at your job. And you have to have a little bit of luck, too, to win in the SEC. And we
Agreed.
haven't had the
Any of
luck,
it.
you know?
The luck part's been tough, too. But that's just kind of, you got look, I think luck is important, but sometimes you put yourself into a position to get good luck, too. Hollywood, man, great call, man. Thank you so much for calling in, big guy. We got a few more. We're going to wrap up here soon, but I appreciate you.
For sure, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators, man. James Lyles just became a YouTube member. My man, appreciate you. And then we got a couple of super chats. FSU lost. LL, I've been talking to the locals. They're all in shambles, too. This is $5 for Cody's iPad fund. Thanks, D-Dub. $2. You watched the live presser yesterday? You mean the SEC teleconference, Chandler, that we're referring to? Anthony, what's up, man?
Yo, Sheldon, man. Really appreciate your show, man. I listen all the
Appreciate you,
time. I
man.
love it.
Thanks,
Every
man.
once in a while, like I'll hear a take and like it'll have me shaking my head. Some takes I'm like, man, I'm not feeling that. But you know what? Stephen Harris said something that I believe like we need to remind ourselves all the time when it comes to this whole firing Billy Napier, coaching search, all that. And when he said it, I like yelled at the screen, like, yes, yes. He said, you don't fire your coach without having the second person like in line. You just don't. And I think that's where we're at. Until this is my personal opinion, my personal feeling. Until the staff actually knows, the University of Florida, the AD, the whoever the interim president, until they know and get a yes from their next dude, don't fire Billy Napier. Like, and so for me personally, like I know I'm hearing reports that he's gone by this weekend. I'm nervous. I'm just telling my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I believe that if we are gonna really shoot at Lane, Lane's not gonna give an answer till the end of this season. All the reports, all that, because and I think if we fire Billy Napier, it's gonna be less of a chance to get Lane because the entire rest of the year the pressure is gonna be on him. All the reporters are gonna be asking him about the Florida job. And if we wait, like if I see Billy Napier not fired at the end of this week, I'm like, okay, that takes the pressure off Lane. We have a better chance of those conversations to be under wraps to the end of the year. But if we fire Napier, I have a feeling we're talking to somebody else. And I have a feeling maybe they got an inkling that somebody else is gonna say yes. Because you don't fire your coach without having that second person in line. It just, to me, that's pointless. Same thing with Penn State. I feel like the AD that came in from Penn State knew who his guy was and knew that his guy would say yes. Maybe even had a conversation with his guy, namely Buddy from Nebraska. And so he felt comfortable pulling the trigger and firing him because he knows at the end of the year his guy who's going to step up.
Yeah, but here's a couple things. So it's having a guy in place, but it doesn't mean it's all locked in because no contract is signed. So who's to say that Matt's getting ready to leave and Nebraska swoops in at the last second? Like you always, it's a very fluid situation, and
True.
so I don't think you can be as perfectly locked in. But your other point to like, hey, if we fire Napier, the pressure of Lane and him being that is why they want to come to Florida. Is for the pressure. So I don't believe that for a second because the pressure's already there. I mean, Ole Miss people are tweeting about it. It's already a thing. It's already a thought of it. Now, I do agree with you that it will amp up, but he's not immune or not aware of the situation. All these coaches know what they're getting themselves into. That's just the name of the game. Like when one of the boosters or one of the comments was like, "Hey, we need to make sure we fill the seats because the fans or this coach I'm talking to likes that we continue to show out." That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like we have multiple decades of showing you how crazy this fan base is. So I don't. Those things are all just kind of, I would say, talking points. These guys. This is a multi-million-dollar business on how to function. Even with in management now, right? If there's a cancer there, you get rid of it. It's just a matter of fact. Even if you put yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit because maybe you're at 2 weeks where you've got to manage it yourself, you get rid of the cancer. And the point of it too is like it's at a point where it's over, boiled over where it's worse keeping him because of everything else surrounding it. I feel like it would be actually less pressure if he were to go, because then the fan base would cool down a little bit, personally.
And that's pressure from that's pressure from the fan base though. I'm talking about, you said if it's a cancer, let him go. I don't necessarily see Billy Napier as a cancer yet.
He's a cancer to the fan base. He's a cancer because us, we are losing to the culture, to the players, 100%.
Agreed.
But
and
for
so, I don't think administration should make a decision based upon fan cancer or not, because then we'd be dictating a lot. And
I don't think you should either. And that's why I've always kind of defended of like, hey, like the fans always have been loud. It's not like this is a new thing. I mean, the Fire Bailey stuff has been there for quite some time.
Right.
It's not just the fans anymore. There is a consensus amongst a lot of people paying you are in that same position now. Not me. Boosters feel the same way. That's where it starts to become like, you don't want to lose out on what's been supporting this, because again, Napier is going to be long gone, and you don't want to burn everyone else that's surrounding the program. That's all.
So last question before I get off.
Yep.
This is my second nervousness. How confident in you are you? Because I'm not. That Florida is going to pony up to make a blockbuster hire. I'm talking about Freeman, Lane, that's it. Like blockbuster hire. And I'm not confident. And how about you?
I'm not either.
So why would we fire Napier if we think that we're going to have a higher chance of getting the same kind of thing? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. Especially, last thing I'll say, especially because DJ is a true sophomore. I'm telling you, I've said this before. I called in before about this. 7 sophomores have gone to any kind of championship, conference championship, in the top championship in the history of modern football. 40 years, only 7 sophomores. So what are our expectations? Wait till this dude becomes a junior, a senior, with his junior, senior linebacker, junior, senior wide receiver, junior, senior running back. Then we're having a different conversation. But we're talking about little 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who are getting used to the game and placing this on Billy.
Look, I think I used to argue like, hey, like what do we go to from here? At this point, I'm at a point where I don't really care where we go to from here. Even if I am worried about them hiring a big time coach. And the other part of it is I remember when you called in, we did talk about that. I kind of alluded to that. And I understood it. I wasn't completely bought in. The fact of it is that Texas A&M has a sophomore quarterback. They're undefeated.
Red shirt though. I think he's been there 3 years.
I think he was a red shirt or a freshman. Either way, I mean, I hear you on that part. 3 years, sure, but has only played 2. He's played just as much as DJ Lagway has played, and didn't. I mean, was not a high school Gatorade Player of the Year, so there's more expectations for DJ Lagway. He hasn't played like a second year 5-star sophomore, regardless. So there's just more. It's not even him. There's more to it, but
sure.
I appreciate the call, man. These look all great stuff.
Yeah,
all great stuff.
Man.
Fun. I love it. Look, people they may not agree with your thoughts or take, but I think that when we're all going one direction, I like when others come in and provide a different perspective.
Sure.
So thank you.
Like Arch. All right.
Well, he's a third year guy. That is a third year guy.
Oh yeah, I thought he came out with DJ.
Nope.
I didn't know he was the year before.
He is junior.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
All right.
Won't work with what's pending for the 26 O line. I don't know what he's referring to. Adam, what's up, man?
Hey, brother. Thanks for making time for me today.
Thank you, man.
Look, we've been talking around it, but let's get to the core of the problem. And the core of the problem is Scott Strickland at the end of the day. People seem to always talk around this, but let's be clear. Who is Scott Strickland? Scott Strickland is a Mississippi State Bulldog who did his God's work in Stark Vegas and then saw an opportunity for a cash grab just before he retired and a little bit of legacy down in Gainesville. He surrounds himself with yes men. He hires people based on personalities, on who he's going to be buddies with. I don't think he gives a rip what the Gator Nation thinks, and I don't think he gives a rip about anything except staying out of the spotlight and working on his legacy construction projects. And the reason why we're hearing all this stuff today is because those are his 2 pressure points, putting the spotlight on Scott. Someone behind the scenes has decided they've had enough of a fill of listening to Scott back out of deals silently in a room, and so they put him in the spotlight this week. We've heard this before. We've heard about the boosters. We heard about the incident that happened last October in his house, where he was willing to get into it with the Rogers family, maybe the Hathcocks, over Lane and Billy. He's not going to hire Lane because Lane's a stronger personality and not a yes man. And the reason I tell you all of this is not just to bring us all down, because it's really a problem. I tell you all this so we can start having a real conversation about who it is. Is he going to do Lane? I don't think there's enough money in the boosters to do it. And there's a rumor out there that Gary Condren doesn't want Lane and backs Scott on that one. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. So who's out there? Who's the Billy Napier personality that might be winning a few more games? And I'm sorry, it only falls on one name, brother, and that's Drink. Now, I don't like telling you all of this, and I'll get your opinion on it when I step out, but we need to remember, at the end of the day, the biggest problem we have is Scott is a cancer. He is a cancer collecting a check, trying to make his life easier before he goes off into retirement. And he just finds us as just annoying because we want to win. He's building palaces to himself in Gainesville, and we're in the way.
Great call, Adam. I feel like this is Adam's like a behind-the-scene booster with all that information there. Look, I don't disagree with you on the Strickland situation. Are you done, Adam? Should I let you go, or are you?
I could go all day, brother, but I thought I'd give you a moment.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you wanted to hop out. Look, we've had that conversation before on the show on who should make that next decision, and that's where Anthony just asked, like, "Hey, do you feel confident on the next hire?" I don't feel confident because with things that you just said of Lane's person, and look, this is why Mullen didn't work out. If we're being quite honest, it's that it was much easier for Strickland to fire Mullen for less, because of just what he wasn't a yes man. And that was a splash hire for Strickland. And I think he was like, I'm not doing that again. Like, I went out there. He probably listened to a lot of people on that hire, if we're being honest. I don't know, but that doesn't seem like a Strickland hire just based on what we've noticed. And he probably was like, let me just give these guys what they want. Gary, obviously, Condren is the biggest booster from if anybody has a pulse. And again, it all comes down to ego and power. And you're 100% right, where these guys, everybody wants it. Everybody wants a taste of it. And it's like, well, why would somebody ever want to come to Florida? Because of ego and power. And that's the same reason why a coach would leave Ole Miss or a coach would leave Notre Dame, because if you can go and be successful at Florida, boy, oh boy. I mean, look at Urban Meyer. The guy struts. I mean, the guy won 2 national championships, one of the most 2 insane places in the country when it comes to college football. The guy is an icon for college football. You can never dispute it because of where he was able to win. And so, yeah, the Strickland situation is interesting because even how he navigated his contract and getting an extension with no sitting president, it is a messy situation that, it's concerning. And again, I try to be optimistic. And this is where, for me, I would always be more optimistic for Napier to have success on the football field, because I also knew that, hey, we move on from Billy. That doesn't mean it's going to be just this green pasture to the next coach where we're going to just go out there and hire exactly what we want. Eli is a name that I've heard. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Marcus Freeman, I think, fits that bill too that you were kind of alluding to. That's a yes man, but I think he's got a strong personality. Just more, maybe a little bit better at navigating it than what Lane would be.
Look, guys, Scott is buying himself about 3 years of peace. That's what he's looking for here. If he can get it with Billy, great. If he can get it with someone else very quickly and get himself off the spotlight, then that's what he's going to do. And that's why I think it'll end up being Drink. Now, I'll always remind everyone, because there's always one person in the chat, and somebody did it here today, that's like, what? He hired Golden. Remember, if Scott had his way, he'd have held on to Mike White, and we would have been celebrating our umpteenth NIT this spring.
Yeah, Mike White left.
A national title.
Mike White left.
Yeah, he quit and ran to Georgia because, quite frankly, he fell into the same crack that Dan Mullen's wife fell in. And, oh, by the way, probably Billy's falling in right now. Gainesville is a hard place to be when you don't win.
Yeah.
People will approach you in grocery stores and gas stations and say, what the heck? Olivia Mullen used to grocery shop in Orlando just so she wouldn't get approached. So that's where we're at. And I hate to say it. I love the Gators. I've spent, you don't want to know how much on the Gators. But I will tell you right now that we have to have a culture change. I thought Billy was a bad hire on day one, not because I knew him, but I knew that Louisiana to Florida was too big a leap. He needed to go spend some time at a two-line.
Adam, were you the booster in that meeting?
If I was, brother, I'd tell you. But no, unfortunately, I am not. But am I the booster who leaked to the media? That will screw with your head all day.
You the man,
and on
Adam.
that, I'm going to let it go. Have a good day.
All right, Adam. Appreciate you, man. Hell of a call, man. Thank you. You're always welcome, Adam. Always welcome.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. That was wild. Like the stuff that he was saying when he started talking, I was like, this guy is a little more in tune than I think. That was crazy. That was a fun time. All right, quick thing. Rook just sent me this from this is in one of the forums. So Zach Alberti is basically confirming Dave's tweet. A source in the UAA has told Gators Online that Florida AD Josh Strickland only met with one booster on Tuesday, not a handful. Strickland and the booster discussed the football program, but the report said booster told Strickland to continue financial support depends on new direction is false. The source was adamant that this did not happen, just passing along what I've been told. Dave Waters is reporting the same thing. And then old Condren commented on it. Gary, who we were just talking about, said this is accurate. So do with that with what you will. Terrence, what's up, man? You're muted, Terrence.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, first time calling in, watch the show all the time. A quick couple of points. I was watching another podcast and it kind of made sense. They said the reason why Billy has not been fired up to this point is because I guess we have a Louisiana general manager, and Billy comes from Louisiana, and so they have that report there, and I'm like, that kind of makes some sense. I guess they was holding out as long as they could. That's what I heard from a podcast. They bring on Chris Dorian a lot. I forgot the name of the podcast. But and another thing is, I totally agree with you. Like, Billy's the cancer at this point. He got to go. He got to go. We should not be holding on to him until we find a new head coach. I do think Kirk Signetti is the route we should go. I don't know how much he's asking or things like that. Lane Kiffin's okay, maybe a second option, but I think Kirk Signetti would definitely get the program going in the right direction. And I don't think he's a splash hire at this point, but not like Lane Kiffin splash hire. So real quick, that's my points, my quick points.
Yeah, the Louisiana thing is interesting because again, you said the GM's from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's what the guy was saying on the podcast. That he's from Louisiana.
So I remember we hired this GM, I think this year, at the beginning of this year, alongside Napier. And so I remember when that happened, because again, GMs are weird. They're new in college football. They've always been around in the NFL. And when they get hired as package deals, very similar to what the Jaguars did, they kind of come together. But there should be some separation. There should be the ability to, you want to support your guy, but also hold him accountable when he's not doing his job. And so, when he got hired after Napier. So there is a weird, situation there. Obviously, he made that. If it's Jacob LaFrance we're talking about, I don't know where he's from, but I don't think that it's necessarily just having to do with the fact that they're both in Louisiana. I just think that it's the politics of all of it. But yeah, look, I think that the coaching stuff is going to be. That's probably. I think a big conversation point for the next couple of weeks. So we'll probably hold off, and then when we get names, we'll get more into it. But we've talked so round and round about who could be the right guy. I don't think Kurt leaves. I've said that, and I'm kind of down on that hill. I even saw an interview last night where he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to leave JMU. I had no reason to. They gave me my opportunity, and I loved it there. I can't remember why he left, but something he said like, the Big Ten, the SEC were basically, taking over college football. So if I want to, play, I got to go to one of those places, and he's there. He's now made it. So, and he's right. I agree with that statement of like, the only reason I left is because I still wanted opportunity, and I felt like we were where I was at JMU, I was getting squeezed out, and he's right. And so there's not a chance in hell he leaves personally. I could be wrong. But Terrence, good call, man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You too, man. Muddy?
What's up, man?
What's up, big guy?
So, man, are you going to pull out the spacesuit whenever the firing happens and the champagne?
You know, I've been thinking about that because everyone wants a big celebration, and I just don't. I mean, it's been weird because we've kind of feel like we've been like talking about it. You know, it's like I already know what's under the tree.
Yeah.
How do I get?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm taking my family out somewhere nice. I mean, McDonald's, not McDonald's, probably Applebee's or something like that. But
I love it. Triple dipper.
But yeah, dude, I was gonna ask you if they do. I was about to talk about the reports of Scott Strickland until you just confirmed. Like a lot of people are saying it's not true, but I was about to say if Scott Strickland really wants to keep Napier, but he's being forced to fire him. Does he even have a say who the next head coach will be, or the Boosters going to pull an Auburn from like a few years ago, where they fired Harsin, and they're like, hey, they told their AD we are going to hire Lane Kiffin until that fell through, and they're like, we're going to hire Hugh Freeze. We're in charge. Well, I kind of see that because he's already fired 3 head coaches, and the Boosters are going to be like, "Hey, man, your name will be on it, but we're going to be the ones picking it."
Well, I don't know if did you hear me just read this thing about the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting stuff there. And look, I mean, you guys are the comments are like you can celebrate. He's getting paid $20 million. That's a good point. I think we can have fun with it because it's not like he's. Hey, sweetie.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
One of my little.
Hey, should we fire Billy?
Hey, should we fire the head coach? Yeah, she's nodding her head. But I was gonna ask you too.
Happy again, please fire Billy.
But dude, if they did hire a new head coach, would you want him to be a game manager, or would you want him to be like how Mullen his first few years he was the offensive coordinator? I know he had Brian Johnson, but he said we took a lot of turns calling the plays, but a lot of people give Mullen the credit for that. So are you looking like, does it really depend on the name, or would you trust somebody to pull another Billy and be like, I'm going to be calling the plays?
Look, I mean, some coaches can make it work. So I would be supportive of it. I think their first go around, I would have to. I think that's the thing. The next person, we'd have to reset and understand that like whatever they want to do, we've got to be fully committed and be bought into it because that's just that's what it is. It's part of being a fan. And so I do think that we will be less patient. Okay, if year one is in shambles, it's like, all right, dude, like, and it's not necessarily us because obviously we're not making the calls. But if I'm Strickland, it's like, dude, I'm not doing this again. I've already done it. I did it for 4 years.
I was gonna say if they hire a new head coach and he's like, I'm going to be calling the plays, Gator Nation's going to have PTSD from all the Napier stuff.
Yeah, so that could be where things could change.
I'll say the last thing is I don't know how many callers you got, but I really hope they would give a blank check to Cignetti. I know it's going to be hard because the guy can win at Indiana with the easier schedule and make the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know if you saw the Oregon game. He saw something you would never see any other head coach do. One of his players was on the ground hurt, came to the sideline, and he got in his face and chewed him out and said, "Why are you pretending to be hurt? Get your butt back on the field. Stop wasting my time." And that player balled out the rest of the game, shut down their top wide receivers. And I was like, dude, you will never see a head coach ever do that.
He's a good mix of old school and new school, and he's doing a good job of it for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Good shit, buddy. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, man. See you.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 callers left. I got to wrap this thing up. So let's make it quick. Call in, give me your thought, Cam. And we got Cam and Chandler. So you boys, give me your thoughts, and then we'll rock and roll. Cam, what's up, man?
What's up, Sheldon?
How we doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get on and quickly address. I've been seeing a lot of fans complaining about how if we fire Billy, we're gonna lose all our talent on our roster now. And I just wanted to say that I feel like personally, does it really matter how much talent he brings on the team if we're not winning any games with it? And there's people on the team that I would love to keep. I'd love to keep. But in this age of football, it's not very hard to flip a roster with the portal. So I just feel like there's no point of harping on all the talent we might lose if we fire Billy, if we're not doing anything with it. And it's not impossible to restack that talent with a better coach. And I just feel like these players are human like us. And I don't think they're oblivious. I think some of them they may be bought into Billy, but I don't think us firing Billy is going to guarantee their departure. I feel like some of them will still be open to the fact that we can get a better coach and be a better team in the long run. So
100%. Yeah, no, I'm going to let you go, Kim, and answer that, but I appreciate you calling him in.
Yeah.
Great thought. And I'm going to answer it now, but I appreciate you, Bubba.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I think Cam makes a good point. The talent thing is weird because I've also said, like, if you're on this team, do you stay if Billy stays? Right? There's got to be a sense of frustration there. Secondly, the things have changed. These guys are getting compensated. So if I'm getting a check from a very high talented school, I'm not going to just pack my bags and leave. Now there's some guys I might have better options. And so those guys may be harder to keep, but it's not like it's just going to be, I don't believe there's just mass exodus. They're all being well compensated. Like Napier said, everyone's going to be is well compensated. And so that is all ran through the GM and through collectives and whatnot. That's not from Billy Napier. Billy Napier's not making signing those paychecks. So that I'm not too concerned about. And then again, he filled this room with talent. The next guy should be able to fill a room with talent. Chandler, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? No, to answer that, I think people like Vernell would stay, just given the history there. I think Dallas might stay, just given the weird situation he had at Oregon, coming out of financial. Like, it could be weird for him to just leave again. People that is worrying is like, I think Jaden Ball's probably gone. He probably has a high price tag. I think a lot of teams are going to go after him. Probably Georgia. I think he's from there. So, but anyways, I wanted to come on here and just ask you. I asked you about the presser. Billy had a live presser yesterday. It's on Gators Plus. If you can look that up online. Billy had a presser. It was like 26 minutes long at 8 p.m. And then Aaron Childs and Damian George had one. And you can go and watch it and everything. It was pretty cool though. I mean, like he was kind of snappy on Monday, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Today he was more chill but like he was in a good mood. But it was also like weird, like he was in a good mood, like maybe they gave him some good news at like the boosters in the meeting, and then it kind of turned to like he was reflecting on his time with the Gators, and then I was like, okay, maybe this is the final time. I don't know. You need to go watch it. But he mentioned I hated it because he does this thing with UF Health with this guy. He does this interview, and it's on Gators Plus as well. And he does it every like once a week. And he was like talking again about how DJ's hurt and all this. And it was like he's making these excuses. That was on Monday he did that. And then today he talked about how he said that DJ is like almost at 100%. So I don't know. It's like he was giving us hope. And I don't know if they told him the boosters meeting. I just want to say something different, okay, to give entertainment. Maybe they said, hey, Billy, if your next game you lose, you're going to be gone. We're just letting you know. But if you can get the troops to rally and turn the season around, we'll review and see what happens. I just want, for entertainment purposes, I just want to say that. Is that a possibility? I don't know. I don't want that. I'm just saying that could be a possibility.
I mean, I wouldn't think so. At this point, dude, it's just such mayhem. I don't know. I mean, if I was getting $20 million to not work, I think I'd be pretty happy too.
Yeah, he'll probably go somewhere though. I said Tulane because some Louisiana and stuff.
Yeah, I think he finds a good spot. I think he'll be more than capable of landing a solid job. I think he's done a lot of good things that will be a good resume builder for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyways, go watch that. Are you having a show tonight?
I don't know yet. It's Thursday, right? Man, week's flying. I'm not sure yet.
Today's Thursday. Well, yeah. Again, go watch it. It's on Gators Plus, or you can just look up the Gators, and then they have all the interviews. You can just tap in and watch them all. So
okay,
see what you think.
Thanks,
all
man.
Right, bro. See you.
See you, Bubba. All right, boys. Well, great show. Had a little bumpiness to start off the call-in show. All right, but we settled in. We got dialed in, and we closed out strong. All right, we got through the scripted plays, and we did well. Thank you guys as always. These call-in shows have really been fun on these Thursdays. You guys are tuning in and tuning out and having some good time with it. I mean, these next few days are going to be crazy. I would say, but for me personally, where I'm sitting at is tomorrow. Maybe we'll have our show where we preview the games for Saturday. Saturday, I've got friends coming over. We're going to be watching the game. So come Saturday, I'm in game zone. I'm only worried about beating Mississippi State and doing what we do. Like there is still a part of me that's a fan that's just like, hey, let's go win this football game. And then I think the fun will start once again. So we'll have the call-in show Saturday night. We'll have our Sunday show. Like we're going to be rocking and rolling. We're going like on a 30-day streak of being live every single day, and we're loving every minute of it. So you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe, do all the good stuff. All right? We'll bring Dan back whenever Dan's always welcome. Dan is always welcome. Y'all be good. Be safe. Peace and love, baby.
Don't miss the prof with the stats, the champ with the fist, Walter bringing fire, cowboy tie, riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's High Top Sports, baby. Let's get it. Let's